Spyrights Live, the voice of Chesterfield FC.
But we got back early. We were the first team back in the country to get into a regime. We were fit. We gave them summer programmes, the ones that we kept from last year. The ones we signed were straight into the same process. And you know, we're here tonight, re-energised. We were pretty over at the relegation quickly because we knew there was a lot step before we came, and then we just had to add to it by getting some good players, which we believe we have. Create a new culture at the club, which we think was missing, a stronger work ethic, a better fitness base, and we just wanted to wake the club back up after the disappointment of last year, and that includes the supporters. The only thing that was consistent last year was them. They turned up, away at Bolton they were superb, away at Sheffield United they were superb, as we were, but the football team last year weren't as good as the supporters, and hopefully this year, hand in hand, we'll be as good as each other.
Is it right that you widened the pitch?
Yes, we did. I play a certain style of football. I believe in playing out from the back, playing through midfield, dominating possession and being in control of the game to then go and try and win it. I played most teams I've played with, apart from Scotland obviously, quite often just put 10 defenders on the pitch and try to hang on for dear life. But most teams, club teams that I played with were football teams. I go way back to Hibs with Tony Mowbray when he was a young manager, open, expansive football. With Celtic, we were always one of the best team, so we played an attacking, expansive game. At Wigan with Roberto, very expansive, you know, total football. So I was brought up with that as a player, and I really believed in it. When you go into a game, I believe you have to dominate the opposition with the ball. I did it at Wigan. We were a team that was very expansive and got a lot of success doing it, and obviously last year in a difficult time tried to bring it here and parts of it here. It's difficult with the group we had last year. It wasn't great, and this year I feel with the players that we brought in, the quality that we brought in, the energy we're going to have in the team, by making this bigger and having more space to play and dominate the opposition, will give us a huge, you know, help in games. And I hear other teams are bringing the pitch narrower. You know, some other teams in the league have done that, and I think that shows that, you know, they're going to play different styles. So at home, we're going to be a team that will want to attack, will want to dominate the ball and play open, expansive football. Thank you. Ideally, we want to develop our own players, and I think we have. I said before, if there was any positive from last season, it was the academy and Charlie Wakefield, Lawrence Maguire, Joe Rowley, Ricky German. You know, seeing those players and the quality that we have coming through the academy was something that really excited me, and I enjoy working with young players. I enjoy trying to make young players better, and I think long term that's what this club has to do. They have to develop their own players. The place where we really want to be is that the players can adapt on the pitch, and we have to put the work in on a daily basis on the training pitch, in the meeting room. It's something I changed when I came here. This club never had a meeting room to show a presentation, which I thought was incredible. I said, where do they do the meetings? And they never done meetings. So I've changed. The old media room is now a coach's stroke meeting room. So we have a big telly on the wall where I can show. On Saturday we showed clips from Chelsea last season winning the ball back high up the pitch, and the players take from those pictures, they take a lot, and we can then apply that in training and they apply it on the pitch. And I felt the impact that had on them on Saturday. They won the ball back as well as we've won the ball back all pre-season. So it's a continual process where we have to show the players, explain it to the players, work with the players. And then it goes back to the start. We have to show them again, work with them, and you have to keep doing it until they get it. But like I say, we want to get to a stage where we're playing a team and they understand. They don't just do what I tell them to do, they understand why they're doing it. And if they understand why they're doing it, they'll be better footballers because of that. We are still constantly looking to see if there is players out there that will make us better, and then obviously financially, can we do it? And I must say, just on record, that the owner, Ashley, have been fantastic this summer to first of all build the team and give us the financial backing that they have, but also with the staff that they've allowed me to bring in to help us get success this year. I have to say that the backing they've showed, I've been a manager for two and a half years now, and it's the most backing I've ever felt by a club and a board and an owner. So I have to say that they really have backed me this summer, and I thank them for that, and we're working extremely hard to give them success as well as you.
If a bid does come in from other clubs for a player, how much of a say do you three get as a team as to whether the player stays or is sold?
Well, again, it's a discussion that if a bid comes in, it goes into the club. They will then tell us what the bid is, how much it is, and we advise the club at that point on the football side of things and say we feel there's more value in him, or we don't want to sell him at that price, or we don't want to sell him at all. So it's a discussion that we will all have with Ashley and the owner, but at the end of the day they do run the financial side of the football club, and there has been times in the past that we've had to sell players, and I'm sure in the future it'll happen again, but it will be on our advice that it happens, and it will be for the good of the football club. And if somebody does go, then we will be ready to replace them with either the same quality or better or more players, and there'll be a reason for doing it.
Just to follow up on the recruitment, we're obviously hoping that you will have recognised the players haven't done anything yet other than got themselves fit, full of spirit and ready to start the season Saturday. We can guarantee that, but the real season starts on Saturday, and that's obviously where they'll be judged not only by ourselves but by yourself in the room. But great question about recruitment. If I could just give you a little nudge on it, if you like, about what the manager has recruited this year. Hopefully, at any point during the season, you'll see a Chesterfield team that will have at least 4 players, maybe 5, even more than that, but guaranteed I think there'll always be about 4 or 5 players in every Chesterfield team that have actually captained other football clubs. That was crucial to us in what we were recruiting. Scott Wiseman, Chris O'Grady, Sam Hurd, obviously you all know anyway. Obviously we've got Ian Everett, Jack McCourt was a young captain. We've got Robbie Weir, who's got a captain, but on top of that, and probably even better, is what the manager was keen to recruit when we sat down and had a cup of tea in the summer. What type of person do we want, as well as what type of player? We wanted leadership from the group and the dressing room, and we wanted captains, so we've done that as best we could, but we also wanted promoted winners. The 2 people here next to me have done it by winning League One and done other things. I was lucky enough to do it through the playoffs with Huddersfield. And you see Joe Anions come in and Scott Wiseman, they were all up for 7 months in the top 2 with Scunthorpe last year. Chris O'Grady was an employee of Brighton, who got promoted to the Premier League. And we've got Robbie Weir, like we said, and there are others. So what we really wanted to recruit was leaders, captains and promotion winners. And I think that's what we've done. We'll continue to do that for you if the right players come along.
All right, if you want to ask a question, if you put your hand up. I'll get over to you as soon as possible.
Just a point carrying on from that, have you made a decision who our captain is going to be this year? Can you answer that yet?
Well, I've not told him, but he'll probably know anyway. It'll be Ian Everett again this season. I think you've seen, if anyone has kind of typified the change in this football club over the summer, you just need to look at Ian in a strip, or with a strip off, is even more impressive. He's been, when I came to the club, he was somebody that straight away I felt I could rely on. He was there. The injury he got, I think, affected us. I think if he was playing all the last season, it would have helped us. But this season, he's really showed, how much he wants to be part of this, and he's worked extremely hard all summer. He's got himself in what he says is the best shape of his career. even his season at Blackpool in the Premier League, he said he's fitter now than he was then. So he's typified the change at this club over the summer.
Is Tommy fit for 90 minutes play now?
You know what hero he is.
I do now, yeah, after Saturday. He is, yeah, he is. He's trained extremely hard again over the summer to get himself right. We've tried to be careful with him. He had 2 big operations in his shoulder, and they are fine, and we just have to manage him now and get him through so that he's competing with Joe. And I think we're lucky in that position that we have 2 fantastic goalkeepers who will help and push each other in the same measure throughout the season, and that can only be good for us.
Don't think we had this last year when I came to the club, but I believe we've got it now. A squad game. Obviously the team struggled last year, so we recognised that the starting team weren't good enough at times last year. So you can imagine the substitutes bench wasn't much better either, and that's just being fair. But we've also, galvanised the whole of the club. We think the dressing room now, where there's probably 16, 17 realistic, starters for the manager, and with Graham and my support on Saturday to pick a team from whilst they're all fit, apart from the 2 lads who've had surgery. So we're also hoping that you see a football team this year that is competitive, has leadership, has captains in it, has promotion winners in it, but has also got impact from the substitutes bench. And I will tell you, just from inside the dressing room, that the manager's last message on Saturday at Doncaster, and then reinforced at half-time, was this could be won by a substitute. This is a squad game. Substitutes, make sure you're ready, make sure you go on and make an impact. Now, they all did in different ways, but 2 of them went on and scored. So we know that was a friendly. We knew that Doncaster were pretty much finished after the sending off. But we're hoping also you see a competitive set of footballers this year, not only the 11 that the manager picks, but also the 6 or 7 that sat next to us, and even the ones in the stand. That's the plan.
How are the backroom staff planning on developing Ricky German? Is there any plans to send him out on loan? No.
Not at the minute, no. That's something we have discussed, obviously, with younger players, if they're not getting as much game time, and I feel Ricky's improved over pre-season. He scored in the first 3 games he played, he scored in every game. So he's having that first team involvement, but making an impact as well, which is important. Obviously, with the strikers we have, there is a pecking order, and should he kind of be at the bottom of that and not get minutes, then it's something we will look at for his development, whether it's better to stay with us and train with Chris O'Grady and Gauzy and Christian Dennis and Delisle every day and kind of get the benefit of that, or is it good for him to go on loan and get games and develop that way? So it's something we'll discuss and look at before the window closes.
If we did find someone good enough to obviously pay for us, would it mean that someone else has got to go out first, or have we got the ability to sign them straight away?
At the minute, we're pretty much at the limit of our budget, and like I said before, we have to thank the owner for that, because he funds everything for this football club. We've signed 11 players, which is a lot, and should we look to bring somebody else in, then it would probably need to, they need to be an out first before we bring any more in.
With regard to the summer signings that you've made, apart from Chris O'Grady, who are you looking for to make the biggest impact, or who excites you the most?
I think they all do, to be honest. I wouldn't single any out, but Steve's said a lot about kind of what we're trying to create in the team, and I think that's the word. We are a team. So all the players excite me in different ways, and we have to try and develop them all as well and make them better. So whilst we feel like we're building a good team, we have to work every day to continually improve and make them better individually and better as a team.
Can I ask team members on an individual basis, you as a manager, do you have like an individual meeting with them each month to assess how they're progressing, or are they not progressing, or do you do it on a 6-monthly basis, or as it appears on the pitch?
We have daily contact with the players, whether it be passing and training, a chat about something, whether it be in my office, I speak to them, but something I want to try and bring in, and I did it at Wigan. We had a large staff at Wigan, so it was easier, but I'm going to try and do it here as well, as an individual development plan for all first team players. So our academy has an individual development plan for each player, for young players, where they have specific targets to maybe improve their weaker foot, or get a bit bigger in the gym and stronger, and they follow that and have, I think it's 6 weeks or 8 weekly kind of meetings to discuss it, and then see how they're improving, and then maybe come up with other ones. So it's something I feel at Wigan it worked really well. We actually had a centre half who we found out had never practiced heading the ball, which was a bit of an issue for a centre half, and we started working with him heading the ball, and he suddenly became, very good at heading the ball. So it's a two-way thing, that the players are open with us, we're open and honest with them, but they're open and honest with us, and they get to put input into it and say, I feel I could be better at this, or I want more work at that, and then we put that into the training plan, and then assess it every kind of 6 to 8 weeks, so that we're not only developing as a team, but we're developing the individual as well.
Just another insight from me from the work done in Spain. Again, you'd obviously think that Christian Dennis probably would be the most natural scorer, but if he's playing behind two big powerful strikers, he'll have to score from distance, which he's capable of. We'll try and get him into the box for you if he plays that position. But there was a team meeting where the manager and the staff spoke to the players. We expect them all to score, we expect substitutes to score, and we expect to win games or draw games from behind, and we expect to score in injury time. So those type of things, if we want to be successful, have got to happen this season. As well as the obvious keeping clean sheets. If you keep a clean sheet, you've got a point to begin with straight away that you can take home with you with a clean sheet. But in terms of scoring, we have told the team that obviously we don't want to put all the pressure onto the front lads. We are expecting all to score this season using a Sheffield United model from last year. They did all of what I've just said. Injury time goals, set plays, defenders scored goals, came from behind to win, scored in the 96th minute to get 9 points. We must do the same if we're going to get promoted. The lads know this, are going to show you.
So he just wants to say good luck to everybody for the season. She hopes that you win every match, but please make sure that you win Mansfield.
We will, and thanks for the cards, Zoe. We got it this week. It's our good luck card, and I've got it in my office, so thanks.
Well, hopefully you've all enjoyed the evening. Has it been good? Yeah? So just like to show you appreciation for Gary.